When we think about healing, I think it is a complex situation. And I don't think you are ultimately healed while you're alive. I think you are always on a healing journey.
When I think of healing, I think of something that's a process. We have to acknowledge that there's a problem. Once you acknowledge there's a problem, then you can go about determining how to solve that problem.
I think healing is, not to be cheesy, but it's really just a relief. The umbrella thing you kind of think about is just somebody being relieved, whether it's stress or a medical emergency.
It does allow the opportunity to share what's deep down and those things that you may need to help you heal, those things that may help other people heal. And so I think there is value in storytelling.
Yes, I do believe in storytelling. I believe in sitting our children down and telling them your story, my story, other stories, your grandparents. Value your grandparents. Value your grandmothers and great-grandfathers if they're still here. Pick their brain and say, what was it like when you were growing up? Tell me. In fact, let me tell you a story. The very first time when I was 5 years old, there's a picture in my head that I will never forget. From Greenville, Mississippi, I saw some things that a 5-year-old should never have been able to see. And, my mom looked at my dad, and my dad looked at my mom, and they put their head down, and they didn't say a word. It bothered me, and so finally I asked my dad, and my dad said, let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that. But a lot of black people feel like, I don't want to go back and remember that. It was too painful. But you have to know your history. If you don't know your history, you're subject to repeat.
Sometimes 20, 30 years down the road, something else may pop up concerning that particular issue or something that had happened, and then you have to address it then.
And so that's where some of these videos come in. And so we're able to let people know what our thoughts are, what our history is, what our understanding of things are. And then once we're able to do that, maybe we may have a chance to heal. But I think there's another thing that comes in between that, and that's actually listening. Sometimes people hear, but they don't listen. And so if you hear, and it just kind of goes in one ear and out the other ear, we're at the same place. But if you listen, and you listen with trying to understand, then there's some room there for us to navigate the healing process.
We have an opportunity with the resources that have been given to give underrepresented communities, Black communities, opportunity to get their history and their name out, where they're no longer a best kept secret. And so this partnership has given us an opportunity to be able to get some sound bites from organizations that may not have had the ability to do this kind of robust or this kind of quality of service.
Something like this could be considered healing because you get to get a relief feeling of like, we're doing the work of the organization. You kind of talking it out.
Healing Illinois is an opportunity to bring history out of the basement and out of the graveyard into the world.